Palm Springs, the hotbed of hotbeds, basically sleeping on the sun. But it's also home to a thriving gay community and tonight's next guest. He's a House candidate for California's 41st District. Please welcome Will Rollins. Oh, he's got some. That's cool. That's cool. Those were Maryland's. Hi, Will. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. First, I think that the story of what's happening in this district is actually very interesting because it has to do with redistricting and all of a sudden a Republican politician realizing that he has to change what he thinks because his district incorporated a new clientele, as it were. Can you just tell people what the story of what's happening in the 41st District in California, which was a very conservative district until recently?
Yeah, so this was a Trump plus 7 district in October of 2021 when I launched. Redistricting, 7-point gain in registration for Democrats, picked up Palm Springs, Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, La Quinta, and of course, Palm Springs being in the district, one of the most LGBTQ-friendly cities in the United States, and caused a big change in Calvert's position on our issues.
So let's talk about this. So you're an openly gay candidate running against a known homophobe, Ken Calvert, who has attempted to scrub his historical opposition to LGBTQ issues, repeatedly voting against queer rights during his 30-year career. At one point, his campaign even outed one of his opponents as gay by sending pink mailers describing his San Francisco values. Calvert conveniently voted in favor of marriage equality this summer after Palm Springs became part of his district. Question for you, where does this motherfucker get off?
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's a bullshit evolution, right, that he claims to have had. This is a guy who voted just 16 months ago against the Equality Act, which was a law designed to prevent gay people from being fired for being who they are, from being kicked out of their homes for being who they are. And, you know, for the first time in his history, 3 decades in Congress, he has a pro-LGBTQ vote. So I think voters are going to see through that crap for what it is.
And Calvert has also taken these anti-choice stances, right? Can you talk a little bit about where he is on choice?
Yeah, so this is a guy who in 1995 already voted for a national abortion ban with no exceptions to save the life of a woman. It's a guy who joined the lawsuit to overturn Roe versus Wade. It's a guy who voted to allow child predators to sue to prevent the victims from getting an abortion. And so some of the furthest to the right positions you could possibly have on this issue and a real threat to women's freedom over their own bodies.
Let me ask you this. Have you been to the Trixie Motel?
Yes, I have.
That's cool. Have you met Trixie?
No, I wish. I have not. I've done a selfie there, but that's it.
That's cool. Has Calvert done a selfie at the Trixie Motel?
No, but I would love to see him there.
And just fully embracing that he has to completely become a different person, just full drag.
Yeah, he has been campaigning in drag recently, but
I don't think so.
It's not working for him.
And now, just to keep people, because I think people would want to know, which of the two of you is the one that's been endorsed by Trump?
That would be Ken Calvert.
You were running in a +7 Trump district, and then all of a sudden there was this redistricting, and suddenly you have a real shot. What is the actual makeup right now of the district? Like, what's gonna happen? You got a shot at this thing?
We're
just fucking around here.
No, well, we're also fucking around, but we got a real shot at flipping this seat. And I mean,
I saw Nancy Pelosi and a lot of people like. All of a sudden, there was this redistricting, and all of a sudden, you have like big Democrats coming in trying to help. Like this, this is suddenly like Calvert's in trouble.
He's in trouble, and it's because I think part of what's resonated with people is the story of this race. And I got into it. I spent 5 years as a federal prosecutor here in the Central District, specialized in counterterrorism and counterintelligence cases. Got into it after January 6th, after helping prosecute some of the people who attacked the Capitol, and seeing what Calvert responded to with that. It was, while we were responding in federal law enforcement, he's voting to decertify, voting against a commission to investigate the attack, and then calling for dropping charges even after it became clear that 5 police officers had died as a result of that. And so Republicans who are still moderate, and there are some in my district, and independents do not like people who are critical of, you know, and want to call for dropping charges against people who assaulted cops. And he just said a couple weeks ago that the FBI is infiltrated by rot. And so with 90,000 no-party preference voters in the district, this is a real shot for the party to flip the seat, especially now that Democrats outnumber Republicans in the district as well.
Should I give the tram a try?
Yes, the tram's great. It's cold up there.
It's high up. What if we're afraid of heights?
It's cold.
Does it feel safe on the trim?
I've felt safe. Yeah.
Sort of a little bit of a dodge.
Reasonably.
Yes. Of course, Palm Springs isn't all gay people. It's also old people. And maybe even some old gay people. Look, we understand that as somebody running for Congress, you're going to appeal to both groups, which is why we want to help with a game we're calling Old Gay Venn Diagrams. Here's how it works. We're going to give you a gay hint and an old hint, and you have to figure out what both hints are about. Do some of these barely comport with the spirit of, let alone the actual rules of Venn diagrams? Let's find out. First up, something you get at Jack in the Box. That's for the old people. Something you were handed by a guy named Jack at a club called The Box. You have any guesses?
Number 2?
It's poppers. The answer was poppers. We were looking for poppers.
I thought number 2 was pretty good.
It was fine. It was good. You're doing great. All right, next up, we have something old people yell that causes young people to roll their eyes. And we have something that gay people yell that causes straight people to roll their eyes. What is it?
Shawn Mendes?
Oh, that's close. That's close. The correct answer was, no one goes to the theater anymore. You're doing terribly, by the way. Next up, again, this man may be in Congress. And he will be in Congress. I got you. Next up, what old people do to stay on top, what gay people do to stay on bottom. Any guesses?
Viagra?
High fiber diet. So sorry.
I'm trying to be really accurate.
You're doing great. You're doing great politically. You're not winning the game, but you're winning the larger game, the game of politics. Final Venn diagram. Oops, you didn't realize how early it is versus oops, you didn't realize how late it is.
West Hollywood?
Calling someone at 6 a.m. But West Hollywood, you know what? We're going to give it to him for West Hollywood. Thank you so much to Will Rollins. Where can people go to help and volunteer, especially people here in LA, if they want to help out with your campaign?
WillRollinsForCongress.com.
Donate, sign up to volunteer. We're in the home stretch, people.
39 days.
Will Rollins, everybody.